Okay, it looks like we're going to be about a minute late. Not bad, not bad. Did a little bit of last minute scrambling to get organized, and hopefully we will have good audio and won't need to do a restart. We'll see what's happening there. Okay. Yes, audio sounds good, and we've got some folks in already chatting about, and Stig's in the house, and we were talking about Brooks Brothers the other day, so I'm wearing this shirt that originated at Brooks Brothers. And we were also talking about the seams on shirts. And notice how this style here, the seam is way off the shoulder. That's the way some of these polo shirts were designed. I could give or take. I mean, I could take them either way, but there you go. Since we talked about that the other day, those of you that are sharp and remember these things, Lance is in the house, and he's saying hello to a lot of folks. Durr's in the house. He's been all over the place. And Craig Boat is in the house. Okay. It's a new Craig. This man saved my financial life. I've been in white collar prison for a year. Okay, cool. Do tell, Craig Boat. We'll see if Craig Boat ends up being a troll. We never know. Anybody that takes my likeness as their icon is always suspect. The Wrench Gang will definitely have an eye on him. Carlos is in the house. Lance is in the house. They're all saying hello back and forth. Blue's in the house. Did a lot of walking this afternoon. I didn't hydrate enough. I'm going to have to be drinking a lot of water. I didn't hydrate enough yesterday. If you fall behind, it's really what you drink the day before that matters, not what you're drinking the day of. So just food for thought. If you're going to play a big tennis match, make sure you hydrate the day before. Williams Watch is in the house. And Carlos is all over the place. He says, I'm with the date 8 this morning. I had to do several things outside my house. So he had to know what day it is. Absolutely. When you're out and about, you might need to know what day it is. When you're out there making things happen in motion. Stig's in the house. Williams Watches is all over the place. Okay. So we're going to talk about, there's an issue, okay? There's an issue. I had a subscriber asking me about the shoes again. And it's a problem because I'm going to demonstrate something here. Allen Edmonds has been known for being a U.S. manufacturer of shoes, decent quality shoes. I've never been a huge fan. I do have a pair, and I have them right here, and I'm going to show them to you, and I'm going to make a point with them. But there's an issue. Durr's in the house. I'm wearing the 229 for the time being. I don't blame him one bit. You just look at that second hand, and it's mesmerizing. It's mesmerizing on the 229, very similar to that 231 on the left there. Look at that second hand, folks. Look at that second hand. It never gets old. Watching the second hand on a spring drive never gets old. I'm telling you, it does not. It does not get old. Especially on the 002 Stunner. This thing is just, the way the light plays off of all the indices, I mean, you can probably even see it from that distance, right? The way the light reflects off of all the indices and off the whole surround, the case, everything. I mean, it's just mind-boggling, folks. You've got to see it in person. If you ever have an opportunity to see an 002 in person, do not pass go, and do see the 002 in person. That's all I can say. That's all I can say on that subject. Scotty's in the house. Sperry's are awesome. I live in Maine and own Allen Edmonds and a lot of Sperry. Scotty, we're going to talk about that. Craig Boat, I put it all in Bitcoin, and the courts couldn't seize the assets. I could 2 years and go off today for good behavior. Okay. I just checked in value, and I have 4.5 million in BTC. I invested 1.63. Well, there you go. Somebody's rocking and rolling. Fellas in the house, I'm in my Oxblood Allen Edmonds loafers. Jaden in the house. We're going to talk about all of that. Talk about all of that. We're going to talk about it. Did Steve sell the other 002? Good question. I don't think so. I think I would have heard if he did. Okay, you saved my life. That dirty woman got our house and a car. That's it. Jeez. Okay. All right. Somebody's having fun. Fun in the chat. I got to drink some more H2O. Oh, boy. All right. Okay, let's talk about Allen Edmonds. I mean, and I don't like calling out a company like this. I really don't like this. I don't like it. But sometimes I have to call them out. And so I'm going to go to shoes here. And I'm going to go to, let's see, men's. I'm going to go to casual shoes. All right. I'm looking for something casual just to buy and just to beat around, right? Just to beat around a little bit. Something casual. All right. Oh, I hate these damn pop-up crap. I don't care about your giving me your email and all that nonsense. Okay. So here's the Force 10 boat shoe. All right. Looks good to me. Looks like a nice hand-sewn boat shoe. High quality. $245 on sale for $183.75. Looks like a deal. Looks good to me, okay? So if I was an unsuspecting buyer, I'd click on that. And I'd say, well, yeah, okay, they have my size. I wear an 11. Okay, all right. And I wear a D. Okay. All right, and I just go ahead and add that to my bag and I buy it, right? That's what I'd do. Okay? And here's the thing. I would think that I was getting a shoe similar to this. This is an Allen Edmonds. Okay? This was made in Maine. All right? This is the Banger model. Let's give you a close-up of the interior here. Allen Edmonds, Banger, right? See what it says below that? Allen Edmonds, you see that if I hold that about right like that? You notice how that says Made in USA? See that? Okay. Kudos to Allen Edmonds. Isn't that cool? Made in USA. Really high quality shoe. Very casual, very comfortable. I wear this often. It's in my rotation. I wear this with khakis all the time. It's in my rotation. I love the shoe, right? So I might want to get something like that, right? See the A E on the side? Really nice, right? There's only one problem. There's only one problem, folks. Scroll down here. Notice this? Imported. Ain't made in the USA. Ain't made in the USA. This USA company, they decided to whore themselves out. I'm not happy with that, folks. I'm not happy with that situation. I'm not happy with that situation. Now, let's go further. Let's dig a little deeper, folks. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's say that I want well, let's go to the dress shoes. Let's go to dress shoes. Whoops. Shoes. Dress shoes. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go to dress shoes. All right. Here I'm going to show you on the screen. Go to dress shoes. Okay. How about this? I need a set of wingtips. A nice set of wingtips, right? Everybody needs a set of wingtips. How about this McAllister Oxford wingtips here? This is normally $400, $395. It's on sale for $295. $295. This is a crapshoot, folks. I don't know where this is made, right? But we're going to scroll down and we're going to find out. Let's see here. This is made in Wisconsin, in Washington, Wisconsin, okay, with fine imported leathers. Okay, that's okay with me. Okay, so at least this one's made in Wisconsin, right? This one's made in Wisconsin, okay? So let's look some more. Let's look some more. And let's say that Well, let's do this. I'll tell you what I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the casual ones because that's what people have been asking about here lately. We're going to do something on dress shoes. Maybe next week we'll do something on dress shoes. But let's go back to casual shoes. Okay. And let's say this Brooklyn Light Derby here. Let's check this one out. $295 shoe on sale for $221. All right, the Brooklyn Derby, right? Notice this, imported, right? So we got a crapshoot going on here. Some of them are made in the USA still, but a fair number of them are imported, and so you've got to be careful. Now, hey, some people love buying imported stuff. They're good with that. It's okay, fine. But I'm just saying that you've got to be careful with some of this stuff. Some of these brands are taking shortcuts, and they are compromising their quality. And they used to brag, Allen Edmonds used to brag that they were made in the USA. And as I showed here, even this shoe here, this casual, this kind of boat shoe, whatever style you want to call it, you know, it's hand-sewn moccasin construction shoe, which I wear a lot as casual shoes. I've already gone through all that, why they're so comfortable. I mean, this is a nice, well-made shoe, okay? And it's made in these United States. Now, obviously, they farmed it out. They probably had it made by a maker in Maine, probably Highland Shoe Company or something like that. You know, and they put the Allen Edmonds name on it. That's okay with me. I'm good with that. I mean, they can't make every kind of shoe, right? But to me, it's a damn shame that they are compromising and doing the import thing. And trust me, the imports, the quality is not as good. I've checked them out. Very rarely are they as good as the stuff made in these United States. Are the shoes imported or is the leather imported? Okay, these, for example, when they say imported, right here, the whole shoe is imported, okay? They will differentiate if it's the leather that's imported, like on those other ones I showed you, they did say that the leather was imported, but they were made in Wisconsin, right? So they will tell you that. But that whole shoe is imported, okay? When they say imported, the whole damn thing's imported. So, okay. Let's see. Lance, Brooks Brothers. Okay. Let's go. Lance says, Craig, go on Brooks Brothers shopping spree. Be very, very careful. We're going to talk about Brooks Brothers. That's why I'm wearing a Brooks Brothers shirt. Be very, very careful with Brooks Brothers, Lance. Be careful. They're selling some junk. Be careful. Do you still have a snowflake? No, I sold it, thinking I need a nice watch to celebrate, but I prefer gold, but not that trendy rose gold junk. Go with the 002. Go with the 002. Absolutely. Go with the 002 and do not pass go. When you're a multimillionaire, that's the watch you should get. You can go to Maryland and hire Craig as your shopping advisor. There you go. The Craigster knows quality. Blues in the house. He will get you to the best places for a reasonable fee. That's right. Absolutely. And Endures in the house. Are the shoes imported? Okay, I answered that. Craig wrote, their red fleece line is not high quality, but the regular Brooks Brothers clothing is great and will last many years. Yes, you have to be very, very careful. You have to buy the stuff that's really well made, and typically it's going to be made in the USA. They might have some stuff made in England. They might have some stuff made in Italy. But you got to be very, very careful these days, folks. Very, very careful. I want my goods to be as quality as Rachel Smith. There you go. I don't blame you one bit. Okay, so next week, I'm going to dig out some of my old dress shoes and polish them up and get them ready for the show. But next week, we're going to talk about dress shoes again. And we talked briefly about them when I showed you my church's shoes. That probably one of my favorite pairs. I got maybe 3 or 4 pairs that are my favorites. But those churches that are ranch oxhide, those are just amazing. Super comfortable. That's why I wore them to New York, because I knew we were going to be doing a lot of walking. And so they worked out great. So we're going to talk about dress shoes, and we're going to talk about also kind of dress casual shoes that are a step up from these, right? A step up from these, but not like dress, like not like a cap toe, you know, something. Well, most like a wingtip, like maybe a country pair of wingtips that you would wear in the country, something like that. We're going to talk about some options to wear with khakis and even to wear with jeans sometimes if you want to step up from the moccasin style construction shoe like I just showed you. If you want to step up a little bit and add a little class to the mix, we're going to talk about that next week. We're going to talk about all that kind of stuff next week. So do tune in for that special broadcast. I need the scoop on your fedora hat. Well, my favorite is probably the Stetson that I have that I bought in New York. As a matter of fact, I bought it on a trip to New York when I was dropping a Rolex off at the Rolex building in early 80s, maybe 1982-ish. And that is my favorite hat, that black Stetson. It's got a high level of beaver content in it, and it's probably my favorite. I have a bunch of hats, and there's a bunch of pictures on my Flickr. I'll pull some up real quick here. We'll do a time check real quick, and let me pull up a hat. Okay, Stetson. I just searched Stetson, and hopefully something will come up here. Oh, whoa. I've got some pictures of Bree wearing some Stetsons. That would be more entertaining than me wearing a Stetson. Absolutely. Absolutely. The lovely Brianna. All right, I'll show you this. And by the way, her website is briefitdance.com. Just give me a second. I'll show you. Don't get your you-know-what in a bunch. There's the lovely Brianna, and she's wearing a Stetson in that shot there. And I think that's one of hers. She has a couple of Stetsons that I bought her, and then she also can wear mine sometimes. So there's the lovely Bree. And there she is again. Okay, and there she is again. All right, and there is a Stetson that I actually bought for Bree. That's hers. That's a gorgeous hat, I think. And there's another one that I think that's Bree's also. Yeah, I think that's Bree's. And then she's wearing another one. Now, I'm not sure which one she's wearing there. You guys are saying, well, I didn't even notice the hat. Okay, and there she's wearing something. And there's something else. Whoa, that's a little bit risque for the show. And there's me wearing an old Stetson on TV. On TV, me wearing an old Stetson. There you go. And there's a Stetson cowboy hat. And there's another Stetson. Okay. Bunch of hats, folks. I've got a bunch of hats. And no doubt about that. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Kind of classy. I kind of like that one. A lot of beaver in that one. That's the one I'm talking about, the black one. This one here. That's probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite. My favorite hat. Super comfortable. Very functional. Let's see here. Let's see. And we need to also start Craig Coin. Let's see. Good advice. I've heard good things about the O2 lately too. There you go. Craig, we need to start a multi-brand franchise company. CraigShipp subs, Craig's khakis, Craig's brothers clothing line. And we need to start Craig Coin. No. We'll use Bitcoin. We don't go with the altcoins. Who's this Craig Boat Troll? That's a good question. Wait, on a serious note, Craig, what are your measurements? Do you have old clothes I can buy if I can pay in BTC? I can keep this untraced. There you go. So in suits I wear generally about a 41 regular, anywhere from a 40 regular to a 42, depending on, but 41 regular. Pants I wear about a 34 by 30 in Bill's khakis, and jeans 32. So yeah, there you go. And 11D in shoes. Craig, what do you think of the shoe brand Merriman? I don't know them. I don't know them. Wow, B, howdy. Okay. Why does everyone keep calling me a troll since when everybody name? Okay. Craig, who is Bree? What happened to your old girlfriend that did the hooping? The lovely Audrey. Audrey is still alive, but she's not on the air anymore. She pulled away from the from social media because of trolls, believe it or not. Lance is in the house. Craig wrote, why would you pay BTC for Craig's clothes? Oh, I'd take BTC. That'd be fine. I've had an excellent experience with Parkhurst brand boots and Oak Street Bootmakers Brogan. Oak Street Bootmakers, basically what they do is they have other people make their boots for them. Like they'll use Highland Shoe Company. They'll use different. I've got a pair of chukkas that were made by them that were actually made by Highland, I believe, in Maine. So they're really just a glorified reseller. So they use different companies to make their boots or shoes, but they're good quality. There's no problem there. They usually use good makers. Let's see. I assure you, I try. I assume you are not working out today. Okay, Lance, ever heard of taxes and traceable assets? Lance, he's trolling, says David Williams. Is this view serve? At Craig Boat, are you a troll? He's probably going to get hit by a wrench fairly soon, I would guess. The only shoes that in addition to the moccasin style construction shoes that I've talked about in the past, the only shoes that I've really had experience with that are non-moccasin style construction are from the ones I have from churches. I've got a pair that are Peeling Company. They were made for Brooks Brothers, right? But they're basically Crockett and Jones made them out of England. And those are good quality shoes, very solid. I don't think there's a downside to the Peeling Company Brooks Brothers shoes. I think they're every bit as good as Crockett and Jones branded shoes. They're basically the same thing. Edward Green, I really like. I really like his stuff. He does great work. He's out of England. And then I've had friends that have had stuff by John Lobb and Cleverly, also out of England, but I haven't had anything from them. I had a couple of pairs of shoes that I bought at Johnson & Murphy. They've since gone out of business a long time ago. But I had a couple of pairs. My first two decent pairs of dress shoes, which I still have, it came from Johnson & Murphy. And when we do the show on dress shoes, I'll show all these shoes. I've got maybe, let me think, how many pairs do I have left? I've got, let's see, 2 pairs of Churches, an Edward Green, Pearl & Company, that's 4, and then the 2 Johnson & Murphy, maybe 6. Maybe I have 6 pairs left. I don't know. I always had a 6-pair rotation back in the day, so I could wear a different shoe every day because I was working 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. So yeah, we'll go through all of that. For those of you that want to dress a little nicer and wear something a little nicer than the moccasin style shoes that we've been talking about in the past, which I love, which are super comfortable. But I don't recommend anybody, as we mentioned yesterday, wearing tennis shoes for anything other than playing tennis, or basketball shoes for that matter. If you're playing basketball, wear those, but not for anything else. David Williams took a smack on Craig Boat. There you go. And Craig Boat, he was timed out by David Williams. Let's see. I was actually looking at Carmina this AM. They do custom pretty interesting. Okay. Yeah, I've heard about them. I haven't had any of their stuff. I think, aren't they out of Spain? Are they? I've heard that they're good value for what you get. Jaden, you have the problem where you have to have like a 15 triple E or something. I mean, you have an unusual size. So I think that's the biggest issue that you have with sizing. You should Skype in when we do the show. You should Skype in and show us some of your shoes. We'll talk about them. The Mighty Rat, the majority of the brands you are mentioning are from a region engine called Northamptonshire. The ones you haven't mentioned yet are Trickers, which are from the same region. Check them out. Yeah, well, I think there's a number of manufacturers there. I just don't have any experience with them. I'm only going to talk about the shoes that I've owned and worn. I don't like to speculate on stuff that I don't have any experience with. And I'll tell you, when I bought my first pair of churches, I've got 2 pairs of churches. When I bought my first pair, the black ones that I showed the other day, the main reason I bought those is they were so comfortable. And a lot of these makers, and I've been doing more research here recently because when I do the show, I want to be accurate, right? As accurate as I can be when I talk about this stuff. But see, when you're going factory made shoe, when you're not going bespoke, okay, there are ways to get a better fit than than just buying whatever, right? So some of these makers have different lasts that they make their shoe on. And Churches is like that, where they have different models and they use like different lasts. So like one particular last model that uses a particular last might fit you a lot better. And if you figure that out, then you kind of make a note of that and say, okay, if they make another shoe using kind of that same last, even if it's a different style, maybe it's a cap toe and the other one's a wing trip, right? But if it's on that same last, maybe it will fit you. And Crockett & Jones does that also. They have different lasts. So you might find a favorite size and last for a particular company and just kind of stick with that. And then you'll be pretty safe, that you're going to get a good fit. I also, of course, always recommend trying them on no matter what. But at least you've got a better shot if it's like if I buy another pair of Churches that are the same size and the same last that my other ones were made on, it's a lot more likely that that's going to fit me okay, right? If that makes any sense. So in other words, they're not all the same depending on the last that they're made on. Carlos says, in my Madrid's country club is still mandatory to play tennis wearing full white clothes. Yes, and that's what it was when I played at Westchester Country Club on the grass. We had to wear all white. Absolutely. They required that. I don't know if they still do now, though. Brett's in the house. I got the guy with the 2015 New Datejust 36. I got the guy with the 2015 New Datejust 36, all gold, wanting to call in sometime and show what he has in his shop. Absolutely, have him Skype in. You know my Skype number. Yes, I'd love him to Skype in. And Brett's in the house. The Mighty Rat, that's just down the road from me. Brett P. Okay, God bless, Mighty Rat. Okay, Williams Watches. So Churches makes chicken and shoes. There you go. The lovely Bree is in the house. I wonder if she's going to call in and get her Bitcoin today. I wonder if she's going to call in and get and claim her Bitcoin live on the show. That would be interesting. Let's see here. Durr's in the house. What about Crockett and Tubbs? They might be good. I'm just not familiar with them. I've had a limited experience with high-end shoes, but I will tell you of the ones I have of Peel and Company, Churches, Edward Green. I think Edward Green for the win. I think it's very, very hard to beat Edward Green. The quality, all of those are fantastic quality. And now there are people that say that Churches has slackened up on their quality, but there are other people that say that they still make the really good ones, but you just have to be selective what you buy. In other words, they still make the custom grade line like the one I have, and that's still real good. But then they also make some stuff that's a little more marginal. So I've heard mixed reports on Churches, the state of Churches currently, right? But I can tell you the ones that I bought like 35 years ago, whenever I bought those, they've been fantastic. I love those shoes. But the ones I have from Edward Green, I love those. I also like the ones I got from Brooks Brothers, the Pearl and Company ones. Again, those are made by Crockett and Jones. Those are really nice. So all of those are a major step up from something like Allen Edmonds or even Alden. Any of those I just mentioned are, in my opinion, a major step up from those. So, and worth doing. Let's see. Brief it dance. Hope you're well. Okay. The Mighty Rat sound about right, buddy. It's half an hour for me and an hour back to the old neck of the woods. The good old black country. Okay. You gonna set up. You gonna set it up, Craig? Okay, Brett. I guess that means you're going to set it up. Okay. I hope so, Brett. Yes. Set it up. Yes. Hello, Bree. We always like guests to call in. That's always exciting. Carlos is in the house. You need to start thinking on purchasing some Antifa attire. Hello, Lady Brianna. How are you? Says Stig. Brett, doing well. Okay. And Brett, I am just lusting for an all gold Rolex. I don't blame you. That Datejust is a stunner. Will he negotiate? Do tell. Are you negotiating? David's in the house. Craig, Crockett and Tubbs were the main characters in Miami Vice. Okay. Oh, so that was a scam comment. Okay. Okay. That's all right. I mean, I know there's stuff that I don't know about out there, so who knows? But I should have channeled that. I did watch that show. I didn't watch it every time, but it was a fun show. Do you know that Daytona was fake that they used in that? It wasn't a real Ferrari. That's what I understand, at least. The one that looked like a Daytona. Now, the Testarossa, I think that was real. Okay, so Eduardo says, Brett, VG, I found you a gem. Craig Boat's back. Brett, why? Get a Grand Seiko, way better. I used to own more Rolex than Rolex. Big mistake. He's doing some borderline trolling, but he's humorous. It might be somebody like the Clivester in here trolling a little bit. Well, it's what you need to wear to walk in the center of Seattle, given the circumstances. I just can't get the guy to meet me in the middle. Well, no, you don't want him to meet you in the middle. You want him to meet you where you are. Come on down. That's what he needs to do. He needs to come on down. Tell him we'll talk about him on the TV if he sells it to you for a good price. We'll help him sell some other watches. He'll make it up on some other deals. Tell him that. He'll make it up on some other deals. Companies will go bust if I buy one shoes per 30 years, LOL. Hey, Craig, you should get a tutor. Oh, by the way, on that one shoe in 30 years, here's the thing. This is very interesting, and I'll show you this when we talk about them. This is very interesting. the two pairs of shoes that I have that I bought from Johnston and Murphy Company, which was a decent shoe company, decent quality, no, not junk. But anyway, those two pairs of shoes that I bought, both of them have been half sold. Okay. None of the other high-end shoes that I have had to be half sold. They're all still on the original soles, including my Churches, which I've had almost as long as those two pairs. Those two pairs are about 2 years older. Got those in like 1979 or somewhere around there, and maybe it was 82 or so. Maybe 3 years later, I got the Churches. So they did have a lot more use on them. But they've both had to be half sold, and the Churches are still looking real good because those higher end shoes have those special soles that are much harder and last like 3 or 4 times as long. When you step up to that higher, they have that company in Germany, JR, that makes those JR soles, right? That same thing. The high end makers in Northampton, they also use the really dense leather that's veg tan for like 6 months. They use that for their soles, and it lasts a lot longer. So that's one thing you pick up when you step up to those higher end shoes, is your sole is going to last a lot longer. You know the old saying, you get what you pay for? Okay? There you go. Brett, 2K worth losing. A new old stock, all gold, date just, tough decisions. Craig, give Bo a wrench. Yeah, right. Okay, there's a photo we're going to have to look at. He's firm at 16K. What the hell's wrong with him? Wanted 17K. I offered 14. He's firm at 16. Sweat him out. He won't meet you at 15, I guess you're saying. He's firm at 16. I'd sweat him out a little bit. Send a photo. Okay, let's take a look at the photo, because in case Bree calls in, we're going to have to take that call. If she doesn't call in, I'm saving money, because I'm going to send her Bitcoin if she calls in. So I better not talk about it anymore. I better not remind her to call in, because it will cost me Bitcoin. Let's see here. Where is the photo that Lance sent in? To pull up this photo here. This photo, and by the way, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. That's the latest data that's coming out. So you might as well be in the rich class, because that's the only ones that are succeeding. There is a Grand Seiko, and I guess that's an all-gold stunner. I guess that's what that is. I wonder what size that is. Do you know what size it is, Lance? How many millimeters is that? That's pretty stunning, though. I'll tell you. It's pretty stunning. I would really want the newer 2017 and newer dial with the Grand Seiko at the top, but that is a good-looking piece, no doubt. No doubt about that. Let's see here. 2K with okay. This is the only Eduardo. This is the only one you found. Well, an all gold date chest that's new old stock. He's probably not going to find another one. That's a rare puppy. According to Chrono 24, my watch collection has increased in value during the lockdown. Choose well, Mighty Rat. Brett is in the house. Perfect, Craig. Need him to come down. Maybe you need to call him. There you go. Well, have him Skype in. We'll try to work him. Eduardo's in the house so far, but I haven't seen another new old stock, all gold piece. I could take another look. Just discovered the search on the forum. Yeah, there you go. I think that's going to be not easy to find. Now, have we confirmed, are those solid, are those center links on that Jubilee solid? Can we get any confirmation on that? I know they probably don't have ceramic sleeves in them. I don't think we can count on that. But do we know if they're solid links? That would be interesting to know. The Mighty Rat, I've noticed that too, mate, with my collection stored on the... Okay. Mr. Q, I've passed on the shoe stage. It came after the knife stage on kerosene lanterns now, Mr. Q. Well, here's the thing with a nice shoe rotation. People talk about a watch rotation, right? There's good reason to have a shoe rotation, a 6-day rotation. There's very, very good reason for that. And there's also good reason for keeping shoe trees in your shoes in between wearings, right? Those shoes are going to last a lot longer if you have a nice rotation like that and you give them plenty of time to breathe in between wearings, and you keep those shoe trees in them, which keeps them nice and straight, and you keep them conditioned and polished, and you take good care of your shoes. They literally will last decades. I mean, I can prove it. Mine have, right? And so there's a situation where it does make sense to have a rotation. Rotating watches, that doesn't matter, because I can wear this watch every day and it isn't going to affect it. Well, the leather strap, I should let it breathe at night, right? I shouldn't have it on it, Leather strap, that's a little different, okay? But let's say that it was all steel or all titanium, like one of those stunners there. Okay, there's no harm in me just wearing that thing every freaking day, all the time. It's going to be fine, right? It's not like shoes that really should be rotated, right? So it's two different things. Clothes are the same way. If you have a good rotation on clothes, then your clothes will last a lot longer. So, and you'll have to go to the dry cleaners much less often and all those kinds of things if you have a nice rotation. Let's see here. What's so bad about Rolex? I think their design... Lance is actually talking to Craig Boat. Lance doesn't realize he's a total troll. Do you know Craig Raft? Oh, there he got hit with the wrench again. Brett is in the house. Sure thing. Let's see. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, I've been in BTC since 2013. There you go. It's a good move. It's a 36 millimeter. So yeah, that's not a bad size. That's not a bad size. That could potentially be an option. What's the price on it, Lance? Is it for sale? Do tell. Do tell. Craig, there's a high probability that Boat is Chip Wong. There you go. Well, he may get the wrench. He might need to set up a new account. It's a good thing these trolls have plenty of time on their hands, so they can set up multiple accounts and do all that foolishness, because they have nothing better to do, I guess. David is on top of things though with the wrench. Williams is here, and Tom Austin showed me a link to that GS watch the other day. It's an absolute stunner. He said he will get back to me as to when he can jump on the show. Okay. Craig, can you zoom in on the picture to see if the links are solid? Are you talking about on this Grand Seiko? I don't know if you're going to be able to tell by the picture. I mean, it's hard to tell. That could just be a shadow there. I don't know. I think it's hard to tell. It's a good question, though. It really is a good question. Very, very good question. Let's see here. I've been using the Samuel Hubbard's in lieu of sneakers. There you go. We're going to talk about some options. Next week when we do the show on shoes, we're going to talk about some options. By the way, Mr. Q, do you have anything? Do you have anything like this? Do you have a pair of high-end, what I call moccasin construction shoes with this hand-stitched mock toe, if you will? Do you have anything like that? They're usually made in Maine. Of course, Russell Moccasin Company is out of Berlin, Wisconsin, that are one of my favorites. But these things are super comfortable to wear. They hold up well. They can be resold if they're a high-quality one. And they aren't terribly expensive. They aren't terribly expensive. A good pair made in USA is going to be $300 or $400, generally speaking, unless you get a real good sale, unless you really get lucky. But they're going to be new about $300 or $400, and I think they're well worth the investment in your feet. That's an investment in your feet. Your feet are your foundation. Everything comes up from the feet. If your feet aren't healthy and comfortable, then your whole situation could be unhealthy and uncomfortable. So, PG, what's my cutoff if he takes your 14K off? What's my cut if he takes your, okay. Eduardo, you'll get your tip in BTC if I buy. Oh, wow. That's pretty heavy duty. At 14K, I would snap buy it. I don't blame you. On the topic of quality shoes, what's your opinion on USA made shoes that use imported materials? Well, generally speaking, they're going to use high quality materials, even if they're importing them, if they're making them in the U.S., because their labor rates are high and their rent is high and all those kinds of things. So generally speaking, they're not going to use junk materials. So my guess is they would be pretty good, but that's kind of a guess. So it's going to depend on the manufacturer and who you're buying it from and how much they really care about quality. Like, for example, Russell Moccasin Company that we've talked about, they're very good. And even if they're going to use some leather that they've imported, trust me, it will be high quality leather or they wouldn't use it. Eduardo's in the house. Let's see. For example, the soles that I mentioned, the JR soles, those are like the best in the industry. Those are very, very good. And they come out of Germany. So there are oak bark tanned outsoles that you can get out of England as well, like those manufacturers I just mentioned, Peel and Company, Edward Green. They're going to use soles out of England that are also oak bark tanned for 6 months. They're also very durable. So there are competitors to the company out of Germany, but there are not that many. There aren't that many places that do oak bark tanned sole leather like that. So I don't even know if they do it in the U.S., if there's anybody in the U.S. that does that. Of course, the shell cordovan comes from Horween up in Chicago, but I don't know if they do sole leather up there. I don't know if they tan that. That'd be a good question to research. Let's see. I sent a link to one for sale. Okay, let's take a look. Let's do a time check while we take a look at this. We're going to take a look. Lance is on top of things today. Lance is on top of things. I say Lance is on top of things today. Wow. Well, that is very interesting. That's pretty reasonable price for an all gold watch. Yeah. That is pretty freaking cool. That is pretty freaking cool. go back through the pictures again. Looks solid. I'm assuming it's a 9F movement. Now, one thing you'd have to make sure of is that there's enough links to fit your wrist, because it might not be easy to get additional links for that puppy. Okay, let's see what it says here. Oh no, it says this is 34 mil. 34 mil. Yeah, that would be a non-starter for me. If that's true. That would be a non-starter for me. And that would explain why it's so much cheaper. That could be a problem. That could be a problem there. That'd be maybe make a nice ladies' watch. If it's 34 mils, I don't think I'd go that way. Okay, cannot Skype in today, but could tomorrow. Okay, there you go. I keep my Bitcoin for another day. Craig, what do you think of Timberlands versus Red Wings? Okay, very, very good question. I have some Timberlands. Let me see if I can pull up one here. One of my favorites were a pair of Timberlands back in the day. Actually, I have several pairs that are really nice. Timberland. Okay. Pull these up. Give me a second here. Don't anybody panic. I'll let you know when it's time to panic. All right. All right. View all 16. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you right now. Like, for example, this pair right here. I got lucky and I bought these new old stock on eBay, and they are fantastic. They are super comfortable. Notice the solid brass eyelets. Notice the triple mock construction. They are just super well made, super comfortable. I wear them in the house here. They're so comfortable. I rotate them with some of my other house shoes, right? And they are fantastic. Now, unfortunately, Timberland doesn't make anything like that anymore, all right? They don't make anything that I know of in the USA. They don't make anything that's this level of quality. Okay, there's an old pair of Timberlands. Again, notice the solid brass there. Okay, quality, folks, quality. Notice the solid brass eyelets. These I have them just up to so I can slip them on and off easier, right? I use these. These were heavily used on the boat, right? Again, those are made in the USA. So you have to be very, very careful. There are a lot of junk Timberlands out there these days. And so I don't know if I have... Shoot, I don't have a picture of my other ones. Well, let me do this. Let me go to the shoes. Let me go to this section here. I might have a picture of the ones that I really like that I bought many, many years ago, and I still have. Where are they? Oh, don't tell me I don't have a picture in here. Huh, I don't have a picture in here. My favorite ones, I don't have a picture. I know I have them in my video. But anyway, to make a long story short, back in the day when Timberland was making the name for themselves, they made some fantastic shoes. Really world-class, great stuff. Not anymore. Not anymore. You're not going to find anything decent from Timberland. Red Wing is similar. There's some stuff that's still decent from Red Wing, but I would probably pass. I would probably just buy, if you want boots, I'd probably buy something from Russell Moccasin Company, or if you want to step up and buy something from Edward Green, you would be blown away by the quality of a pair of Edward Green boots. Let me pull up a pair. Let's do a time check here. Let me pull up a pair just to give you a look at what I'm talking about. Their boots are just unfreaking believable. Let's just pull up. I just did just so you know, I just did a Google search, Edward Green boots, right? Okay, so we're gonna go to Mr. Porter. He sells a lot of Edward Green stuff. Okay, so these are shearling lined, and I wouldn't go with that, right? I wouldn't go with shearling line and all that crap. But I mean the quality on these boots is just absolutely insane. Let's go. Let's see if do they have any. Shoot. Let's see. Edward Green. Let's pull up Edward Green here and see if we can find something interesting here. Same shearling line boots. Don't tell me that's all they've got. There's a pair of suede boots. I'm not a fan of suede. Harder to care for. Now, okay, here's a pair that are on sale. Okay. They often have sales on this company. I mean, that's basically half off, right? That's half price, right? But I mean, look at these shoes. These are, I mean, look at the detailing. Look at the stitching, the quality of the stitching, and the quality of the soles and everything, the way it's all put together. I mean, that's a lifetime boot there. That's a forever boot. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Okay, I get that. But if you're going to wear them a lot, if you're going to really enjoy them and really wear them, a couple years down the road, you won't even remember how much you paid for them. You'll be like, you will have forgotten how much you paid for them. But in the meantime, you'll have like the finest boots you can buy that can be resold multiple times. And it's just night and day between those and a pair of Red Wings. I mean, it's just not even a close call, folks. Not close. Let's see. Like Timberland for walking, hiking boots, as well as Rockport. Okay. Do you wear shorts in the summer and Timberlands when it snows? Refit dance cannot. Okay, I read that. Craig, if you think guys are wearing overpriced, crappy, uncomfortable shoes, women's shoes are far. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to get decent women's shoes. That's why I bought Bree a couple of pairs of shoes that are really, really nice. I bought her a pair of boots and a couple of boat shoes that are made in these United States. And we got her a pair of moccasins for around the house that the folks from Townview Moccasins sent to her. Very kind of them to send those to her as a gift to the lovely Brianna. If she's still hanging out in the chat, maybe she can let us know how those shoes are working out. Those shoes and those slippers. Craig, okay. I never wear shorts. I'll mainly wear my hiking boots when I'm out in the countryside. Mainly I wear trousers and shoes all year round. Williams watches. I heard Jimmy shoes are absolute junk for how much they cost. Okay, I don't know what those are. Looks stunning, that GS Williams watches. The seller wrote 34 mil, but it's actually 36 mil. They made a mistake with the description. Okay. That would be, that's an interesting watch for that price. That would be very, very interesting. Very interesting. Williams Watch is less. Yes, Lance, it's 36 mil, 100%. Brett, definitely you can't be a no coiner. I think all the 9Fs from that time were only 36 mil. Okay. And let's see. Triforce Rich says, up everyone. Got to watch the show tonight. Couldn't make it. Got to drive home after a business meeting. Craig, did you end up making another offer on the Crockett and Jones? No, I didn't. I'm letting him sweat. I'm letting him sweat because I really don't need them. The only reason I was thinking about buying those is I don't have a pair of shell cordovans. Let's pull those up. Let's pull them up. They're still on my watch list. He turned down my offer. He said, I don't want your money. I don't want your stinking money, he said. Bids, offers. Let me get in here. Get in here on these. Give me a moment here. I'll pull this puppy up. He still hasn't sold them as far as I know. Okay. And here it is. Here it is. I'm going to pull them up. I'm going to pull these puppies up. All right, there it is. He turned down my offer. You see it right there in orange at the top. I offered him $450 for those puppies. And, you know, they're nice shoes. If they were black, I would probably offer more, but I've already got like 3 pairs of similar, not the same, but, you know, dressy brown shoes that I can wear. And I don't really need another pair of brown, but the thing is, well, I don't need them, period, but and again, those are factory photos. Those aren't the actual shoe. There's the actual shoe in the box. They're brand new. And they're shell cordovan, which is really cool. I've never had a pair of shell cordovan. The problem, here's the thing. Okay, shell cordovan is cool. A lot of people love it. But here's the thing. If you have nice lambskin, which most of the higher end shoes are made of a nice lambskin, very high quality lambskin, in my opinion, they're easier to take care of. Some people like the shell cordovan because they just wipe it off. You just wipe it off with a damp cloth and buff it, hit it with a horsehair brush, and then you're good to go, right? But you can't really refinish them if they ever have problems or whatever. There's limited things you can really do to them. So I kind of, in some ways, like the flexibility of the lambskin, so, but in any event, they're interesting. They're interesting shoes. I'll leave it at that. Obviously they're interesting, or I wouldn't have put an offer in on them. But I don't need them, so it's not like I have to bump my offer up. He didn't even give me a counter offer. He just said, "Screw you." Well, okay, keep the shoes then, guy. Let's see here. Brooks Brothers used to carry a shell cap toe made by Crockett and Jones. Those were incredible quality. I have to say, though, I prefer Alden's due to their roomier lasts. Yeah, see, my feet are not super wide. I mean, my feet are like between a C and a D width in American sizes, right? So those fit me fine. I already have one pair of, they came from Brooks Brothers. They're the same size. They call this 11D. These are sized in U.S. sizes, okay, because they're made for Brooks Brothers. So it's 11D. I've got another pair of 11Ds, very similar, but they're in calfskin, and they fit fine. So I'm pretty sure these shoes would fit fine. And my churches are very similar as far as the size and shape goes. So I'm pretty confident that these would fit okay. You never know for sure, right, until you get them. But I'm pretty confident they would. But yeah, if you've got wider feet, you don't want to get that. And if you've got a full D width or even more towards an E width, it ain't going to work. That puppy ain't going to work. So, yeah. And let's see, Triforce Rich. I'm not that fancy. I simply wear a pair of New Balance hiking boots. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, thanks so much. Okay. Craig, I have a pair of Sperry topsiders. What do you think of those? The ones that were made in the USA are great. I've got some that were made in the USA. I've got several pairs of them that were made in the USA. And they actually brought them back. They actually brought back production to the USA when they had their what they call their Made in Maine collection. They brought them back. They brought production back here for several years. And that's where I bought my last ones. I bought several pairs, new old stock. When they shut that operation down up in Maine, they shut it down, or at least they shut down production of Sperry's up there. I'll put it that way. I think they were using Highland Shoe Company to make them. But in any event, they stopped making the Sperry's up there again. They stopped once, they went offshore, and then they brought back production for the Made in Maine collection, and then they stopped it again, right? Well, when they stopped it, a whole bunch of those pairs of shoes were put on eBay at really good prices to dump them. And so I bought like, I don't know, maybe 6 pairs, and I still have a lot of them, new old stock. There were also did the same thing. Polo did the same thing with their Tedford. Let me see if I can pull these up again. I'll show you. Here are the Ralph Lauren's Tedford. Okay, those were new old stock that I bought. Tedford 2, right? And got a real good deal on them. Oh, let me go back to the album, because I think I have a picture of the Made in Maine ones here too. That's what I used for the thumbnail, by the way, the Made in Maine ones. Let me find the Sperry's. What in the heck am I doing? Why do I not have... Jeez. These albums are not complete. I got to organize this better, folks. This is embarrassing here. Okay, shoes and boots, 68 items. Why would they not be in there? Why would they not be in this set? See, the reason I put these in here is so that I have them for reference, and now they're not in here. They're not tagged properly or whatever. If I click on this, these are Timberlands. If I go to Made in USA, maybe this set here, this is going to have a ton of items in it. Oh, for crying out loud, that's a group. Oh, for crying out loud. Time check while I figure this out. Well, the heck with it. I'm going to grab a box. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So this is the box they came in. Okay. I bought them on eBay. They sent them to me in this box. This is a Sperry box, right? And these are topsiders from the Made in Maine collection, right? So you can see here, they're still new in the box. All right. So these are size 11D. All right, and here they are, right, never worn. got several pairs that I bought, new old stock. So you can see here, if you look inside, a handcrafted in Maine, right? So, to answer your question, long drawn out answer to your question, yes, they're fantastic if you buy the ones that are made in USA. I would pass on the others. Any that are not made in the USA, I'd pass on those. Okay. That's how that works. And hey, if you search, you might still be able to find some new old stock ones on eBay if you get lucky. So we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon. As usual, we are moving along. Let's see, Craig. Okay. Truffers Rich, you're kidding me. Turn down $450 offer on shoes on eBay. He'll regret that. I've seen shoes on eBay for years. Some people think they have a growing asset. Well, I will tell you that shell cordovan sells pretty well. It's not easy to get. Anything in shell cordovan, especially from Peel & Company, which is basically Crockett and Jones, those are high dollar puppies. So he's not way off on the price. And yes, my guess is he'll end up cutting the price some, but I think they probably will sell. If you mark those and keep an eye on them, I think they probably will sell because they're new old stock. So the trick is he's got to find somebody that wants that size and that color. It's the dark brown, which is kind of cool in a way, but a lot of people want the actual cordovan color, the actual dark red, color that is associated with cordovan. Cordovan is really not a color, by the way. It's the type of leather, but it's famous for that burgundy, dark red, burgundy, whatever you want to call that color. That's a lot of people want that, but there are people that like the dark, like almost like a chocolate brown, like a coffee. Dark brown. There are people that like that color too. If I didn't have like 3 other pairs of brown shoes, I probably would, even up my offer a little bit. But I don't need them. So, but I would like to have a pair of shell cordovans, just because I just don't have them, and it'd be kind of fun to have a pair of shell cordovans and see what they're like. I have some Oakwoods wing trips on black shell cordovan, 25 years age, USA made, size 11. And that, from what I understand, Mr. Q, they hold up great. They hold up great. Have yours held up great? Do tell. And if you're not wearing them anymore, send them to me. I'd love to have them. Cheatown's in the house. Who do you all think make the best running shoes? I find Asics hold up well. I used to use New Balances. I don't run anymore, but and then for tennis, I usually used Nike. Their higher end ones worked out good. Carlos, shell cordovan is not skin; it's a membrane. The name comes from Cordoba, Spain. Exactly. And it's very interesting stuff. That is very interesting, if you want to use the term leather, whatever you want to call it. But it has some very interesting qualities to it. It's different for sure. Shell cordovan can spot a bit in the rain if you don't buff them out right away. Some of my pairs don't do it, and others will. Yeah, I think it can be a little tricky sometimes on some things like that. That's why I say I kind of like the calf skin that's on my shoes that I have. They've all been pretty easy to maintain. So it's like, it might be kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. Maybe there's no real advantage to me going to shell cordovan. So there's that. Let's see, David Williams. Oh, who is somebody texting me? For gosh sakes, they should know I'm on the. This is a buddy of mine. He knows I'm live at this time every freaking day, and he's texting me now, right in the middle of the show. How is that a thing? Okay, all right. So let's see here. Does Morocco sell leather? Okay, David, did you sell your GS yet? I don't think he did. I like Asics quite well. Usually my primary choice. I cannot tell, but I assume they do. Okay. Not yet. Not in a rush. Still for sale. That 005 is a stunner. I wouldn't be in a rush either. At David, I used my one pair of Asics for the gym since late 2016, and they're holding up well, aside from fraying on. Okay. At Brett, sent you an email. Okay, cheat down. It has to be New Balance, the official shoes of the middle-aged white folks. There you go. I like Aldo shoes, but they do not hold up well. I had a pair of canvas and leather. Okay. Keep in mind, running shoes are not designed for lateral movement, rather forward movement. That's right. You want to buy actual, real tennis shoes if you're going to play tennis. Let's see. Okay. You mean after Nike pissed off a bunch of customers like Gillette did, I wear Asics and shave with the erasers. So I've been sitting on the sidelines with my popcorn laughing. There you go. My last new, by the way, this watch, I can't even tell it's on my wrist. It's so comfortable. I mean, this thing is totally formed to my wrist, the strap, and it is just like insanely comfortable. It is amazing. I highly recommend the 002 with a strap from HD Straps. HD Straps. Yes. Let's see here. My last New Balance pair is close to being dangerous. The sole's getting flat. I'm going to try Nike. I need 2 to 3 pairs of sneakers per year just hiking in my neighborhood. See, that's why, Carlos, I've given up on years ago. I gave up on using any kind of sneakers for walking and hiking and all that. I use the moccasin construction shoes. Carlos, order yourself a pair custom made from Russell Moccasin Company. You will be amazed. They are great for walking. Just go out and walk every day and enjoy, and you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe how much better these are than any kind of sneakers for out walking and hiking and things like that. Buy the pair like we just showed the other day on russellmoccasin.com. If you want to, sometime call in and we'll discuss it. But my gosh, you would love it. You would love it. And you wouldn't be buying 2 or 3 pairs a year. They last you many, many years. Decades they will last you. If you have to have it resold, just have it resold. Let's see. My topsiders are made in Indonesia. Yep. I'm not surprised. Eduardo looking now. Thanks, man. I think you're right about 16K. Still a great deal. Okay. You didn't shave with Gillette cartridges. Okay. I had to pay the full retail for my Crockett & Jones, and I almost never do that. Didn't have a choice. No one else carries the model and none on eBay. Triforce Rich. Wow. Oh, so none of the online shoe companies could get it for you? That company I just showed? What was the name of that company again? Mr. Porter? They couldn't get something for you? Or somebody like that? I mean, usually there's online sellers that discount them. That's interesting that you had to go full tilt on those. Well, bottom line is they're going to last you the rest of your life if you take care of them. So, I mean, you'll be okay. Let's see. Anthony, I think $450 for C&J unworn would be a good deal. They'll last forever with minimal maintenance. Absolutely, they would. I agree with you. That's why I made that offer. Is the James Bond shoes from Skyfall and Spectre? It is the James Bond shoes from Skyfall and Spectre for my tux. Okay. David Williams, I have a few blades and a mixed set I bought on eBay. I may be on the last one. Okay. I've heard that. I've heard that. I've heard too that cordovan can crack bad. I think it wrinkles. I don't think it crack. I think it's known for not cracking. Shell cordovan, real shell cordovan. I think it can wrinkle, but I'm not so sure about the cracking thing. It shouldn't do that. It can tear if you really catch it on something or something, but I don't think it should wrinkle. That's one of the things it shouldn't do, I think. But anyway, I've never owned a pair, so I can't speak firsthand, but just from what I've seen. Craig, I can send you an email with the pics. If the appeal to you, I'll ship them to you. My feet actually grew. Oh, boy. Wow. Wow, that would be amazing. Just tell me where to email you pics for those, of course. Well, my email is my name, Craig, CraigShipp, @gmail.com. Craig, CraigShipp, @gmail.com. So just make sure there's 2 P's on that. See if I can put it in the chat here, if I can type. Craig Ship. And it capitalized that one letter, but I didn't really want to do that, but at gmail.com. CraigShipp@gmail.com. Okay, well, anyway, that's it. So, yeah, I mean, and obviously I would pay you, PayPal you the money for shipping and all that. I mean, that would be really cool. I'll do a video on them. That'd be really cool. Let's see. Important thing. Let's see. Important thing to note about quality goods is to look for materials. No matter the country of manufacture, if you skimp on materials, you're not going to get a great product. Absolutely. Heck yes. But that's why you see the things, if it's made in the USA, usually they're going to use good quality products because, again, they're already paying for the high labor costs. They're already paying for the high rent costs and all that. Why would they use lousy materials? It would just be shooting themselves in the foot. So generally speaking, most of the shoes that are made in the USA are pretty good quality, especially the moccasin-style construction shoes, like the ones that Russell Moccasin makes, the ones that Highland Shoe Company makes. They're pretty good for the most part. I do like Shell much better despite the rain issues. It's way more durable and doesn't develop fine creases, but rather develops smooth rolls. Yes, that's the thing. But like I say, my shoes that are all, I guess they're all calf skin for the most part, right? Even those Churches, I think it's just a shrunken calf skin that gives it that grain. But in any event, I mean, they've all held up great because I've taken good care of them. But, I mean, I think a high-quality calfskin shoe can also last a long time. Well, I know it can because mine have. So yeah, I think that cordovan can last like 100 years, right, with good care. Maybe mine last 40 or 50 years, right, or something. I mean, so yeah, maybe it lasts longer, but they can both last a long freaking time is the point. Also, there are different grades of the save material. I can tell you that those $50 cashmere goods, they're not the same cashmere. Oh my gosh, yes, cashmere can be wildly ranging in quality. A lot of the cashmere that comes out of China is garbage compared to the real high quality cashmere that came from cashmere. I have some sweaters that were really high quality and they hold up great, and I've machine washed them, and I mean, they've been amazing. If Native Americans wore moccasins for hunting and hiking across country, that gives you an idea of how those shoes are for that purpose. There you go. Well, moccasin style construction shoes are just so comfortable. Just the way they're made, the way they wrap up, they literally cradle your feet like your feet are in a hammock. It's amazing. Watch the videos on Russell Moccasin Company where he talks about all that. It's really amazing, and it's so true. I mean, when I first started wearing them for those kinds of purposes, I thought, well, this isn't going to work very well. I should really be wearing the sneakers, right? They're much more comfortable, right? And then I started wearing the high-end moccasins, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much nicer. And so, yeah, now the sneakers are only used when I'm actually playing tennis. So there you go. All right, I'm going to catch up, and then we're going to wrap this puppy up. Eduardo says PG 15 or 15.7, okay, would be ideal, but see how flexible it is. He's had the watch for a number of years now, so let's see how much longer he wants to keep sitting on it. Good point. Absolutely. Sweat him out a little bit. Other companies have Crockett and Jones, but they don't distribute every model. They are stingy about their James Bond models. Okay, got you, Triforce Rich. Hey, but you've got a beautiful pair of shoes. I hope they fit and are real comfortable, and they'll last you, indefinitely. Fortunately for me, my feet have not really changed size. Since I was a full-grown adult, I can wear the same size shoes that I wore back then. Some people, their feet do either broaden out or even lengthen some, and then they're kind of screwed. They have to replace their shoes. But I haven't had that problem yet. Let's see, 15K is my zone right now. There you go. Let's see if he comes down 1K. But yeah, I think this watch will hold its value. Brett, at 15K sounds like a great value. Triforce Rich. This is the newest model, right? It's a 6-digit model. Now, did we confirm that thing has solid center links? Carlos, I think that this moccasin advice is going to be another advice that I'm not going to comply. I cannot see myself with my sport hiking clothes wearing that kind of shoe. Oh my gosh, Carlos, they look great. They look great with a nice pair of shorts or whatever you're wearing and some nice heavy socks. They're fine. They look a lot better than wearing sneakers. Yeah, I hate to tell you, Carlos, but you're wrong on that one. Okay, Eduardo's in the house. Brett, I wear them with my swimsuits, for gosh sakes. And you can wear them without socks also. You go into the pool or whatever. I mean, they're very versatile. Very versatile. A good pair of, even these. You could wear something like this any way you want. You could wear them with no socks, with some swimsuits. You can wear them with shorts. You can wear them with khakis. You can wear them with anything. They're going to look a lot better than wearing some kind of Nikes or whatever, They're going to last longer, they'll look better, be more comfortable. Other than that, there's no real advantage to them. Okay. Cordovan definitely isn't prone to cracking. It's very oily and almost never requires polish. In fact, the oil comes to the surface after walking and you buff the oil out and it shines like new. Yeah, you're not supposed to put any wax on them because it won't penetrate. You're just supposed to wipe them off and hit them with the brush a lot. Brush them a long time, I understand, and then they'll look good. And there are special treatments that you can use to treat them, but you don't do it like normal leather. That's correct. My Crockett Jones are calfskin, tried and true material. Yes, Triforce Rich. Real pebble is due to shrinking leather. Alden still does pebble grain like that a lot if fashion brands emboss it. Yeah, exactly. That's how my churches were done. They shrink the leather and they get that pebble. And also my Edward Green shoes were done that way too. That's correct. That's the best way to do it. I assume part of cashmere is actually in China. It might be now. Okay. Triforce Rich. Brett, some dealers refuse to accept reality. I've seen some dealers refuse to budge on steel Rolex they have been trying to sell for months. There you go. Tri-Force Rich seems like a good deal. As far as I know, okay. Here's the thing, Brett. You're paying a premium for a new old stock watch. So once you buy it and you wear it for a while, it's no longer a new old stock watch. So you are going to lose value because of that. But you're getting a new old stock watch. So I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to pay a premium to get a really premium watch, especially if you're planning on keeping it. Now, if you're planning on selling it, not so much, because you will lose money if you just turn around and try to sell it after you've worn it some, because then it's no longer a new old stock watch, right? Brett, one important note, though, is you'll be missing out on the President bracelet, which probably is the best reason to go all gold on a Rolex, but you'll be unique with a Datejust, so it's a trade-off. Yeah, but the Jubilee is also a beautiful bracelet. Can we confirm that it's got solid center links? Can somebody confirm that? Carlos, get style out of your mind when you're hiking. It's about durability and comfort, and it's not a fashion show. But, hey, these would look better. They would look better also. You win both ways. You get more durability, they're more comfortable, and they look better. Ah, boy. Carlos, we need to do an intervention here. Tri-Force Rich, I think, we might need to examine your entire wardrobe, Carlos. You might need a total intervention on your entire wardrobe. I hate to say it, but that might be where we're headed here with all this. Brett's in the house. Was off by a few grand with this guy. He didn't even try to make a deal, just said no, okay. I have to use those kinds of shoes, but I do not use them for hiking. Brett's in the house. Well, again, you can buy moccasin-style construction shoes that are kind of heavier duty, that are more made for that sort of thing, for like the hiking and things like that. They make different styles and models and for different purposes. It's just the construction style is a moccasin-style construction, right? If you go to Russell's website, Russell Moccasins, they make all kinds of different levels of durability and for different use cases, right? So I would take a look. That's what I would do. Let's see. Tri-Force Rich. Yeah, it's just such a cool watch that I would be willing to take that trade-off. I think sneakers are more comfortable to me. Some days I hike up to 20 kilometer, minimum 10 kilometer every day. Okay. Yeah, I hear you, but no, if you get some really good high quality Russell moccasins, you will be like amazed how much more comfortable they'll be. How much more comfortable they will be than any sneakers. Let's see. Carlos, rethink what seems normal to you, and it will seem less weird. Brett says, yeah, agree, Craig. Pics are on your inbox. Okay, let's look at the pics. Pics time. Wow, we've been going an hour and a half. This streaming box is getting her done, man. It's getting her done. Okay, all right. Well, he sent a video about, I'm going to look at the pics. I'm going to look at the pics. Wow. Wow, those are cool. Those are cool. Those are cool. Absolutely. And they're 11D? What a coincidence. What a coincidence. Wow. I could do some restoration work on those. Those are cool. Can you take a picture of the bottom of the sole? I'd like to see what the soles look like. Now, if I go back, I wonder if I can get that video to play. I don't know if I can get that video to play or not. I guess I got to download it. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Video. I'm going to put it on the desktop. And I'm going to call it Shell. Shell video. And let's see what happens here. Okay. So that's downloaded. Give me a second here to spool this up. Okay. Open with QuickTime Player. Okay. All right, we're going to show this video here. Give me a second here. All right, here's the video. Actually grew. Oh boy. Wow. Wow, that would be amazing. Just tell me where to email you pics for those, of course. Well, my email is my name, Craig, CraigShipp, @gmail.com. Craig, CraigShipp, @gmail.com. Let's play that again. I want to listen to it this time. Actually grew. Oh boy. Wow. Wow, that would be amazing. Just tell me where to email you pics for those, of course. Well, my email is my name, Craig, CraigShipp, @gmail.com. Craig, CraigShipp, @gmail.com. That's interesting. Those soles, those soles almost look like they're man-made material. That's interesting. It's hard to tell what those soles are made of. Interesting. And I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that brand. I got to get this Skype back up just in case we get a call in and get my get my windows already all set up. Very, very interesting. That would be cool to kind of clean those up and restore those puppies and see if we can actually get some actual use out of those puppies, out of those shell cordovan shoes, those shell cordovan stunners. Let's see. Catch up on the comments here, and then we're going to wrap this puppy up. Right now, gold pieces on Rolex are stupidly depressed. I see them going up in the next 2 years, not by crazy amount, but certainly 10 to 15%. The price I got my day date for is stupid. Triforce Rich. There you go. Also, my 1995 day date feels like a modern Rolex. Shows how much more of a premium watch it was meant to be over the Steel Sports. People are eventually going to realize this. Maybe, but a lot of people have poor taste. The video has the soles, says Mr. Q. Nice gunboats are those vintage Florshimes. Just curiosity, are you using the day date when you are working with a client? Eduardo, I've got a question for you and everyone. Do you guys think my 1601 has been over-polished, or simply that the lugs were made thinner in 1969? I can send you email with comparison pics. Go ahead and send it. I'll show the pics and we'll get their opinion. And then we're going to have to wrap this puppy up because I'm getting hungry. Triforce Rich is in the house. Of course, no, I will only wear it during negotiations on behalf of clients or when I need to be aggressive. Triforce Rich. I would do the same. Carlos, I don't think anyone notices your watches unless they're like us. Good point, Jaden. And if you're wearing a gold watch, if you're wearing long sleeves, you can always slide it up under the sleeve if you want to conceal it. So you can do that. I think you can do that. Jaden, trust me, they notice 18 karat yellow gold. I'll grant you that. They will notice that. they won't notice a steel watch usually. Or even if they do, they could care less. But the 18-karat yellow gold watch, they will notice. And Carlos says that same thing, and he's correct. If you think people will not notice a date, you're very wrong. It could make or break a deal for me. Eduardo sent the email off, okay? 2 of the highest earners I know were Tag Quartz. Let's see, a notable YouTuber asked in a video if the Datejust is obsolete. My response is that no, it's not. Us watch enthusiasts are just in a bubble. Datejusts are still widely worn and sold. Well, yeah, it's a very popular model because it's a very practical watch. Mr. Q, Anthony, they're related to Florsheim, bought them in 1990. There you go. Also, people have noticed my Pepsi all the time. Now, Mr. Q, your feet actually changed size? Do tell. Do give us some more information on that. I'm curious as to, they fit you okay when you bought them, and then at what point did your feet get to the point where they didn't feel good anymore? Do tell. I'm kind of curious. Try First Rich. Also, people have noticed my Pepsi all the time, but that has only been a positive thing, though. There you go. I never had anybody say anything negative about the Date 8. Of course, I was always dressed nice, and, I wasn't acting like a jerk around them or whatever. I did have a couple of people ask me what I paid for it. I think I had that's kind of a little bit rude when people do that, but I have had people ask me, what did I pay for it? And I always responded to them that it was a gift. I said, it was a very generous gift, and then I left it at that. So, because it's really none of their business what I paid for my watch, right? So there you go. Okay, let me see if there's anything else we need to show. Oh yeah, the Datejust, the lugs on the Datejust. How come this is not enlarging? Let me refresh this and see if I can get it to enlarge. I'll cut to it when I get this loaded in properly. Okay. For some reason, this is not allowing me to enlarge these photos, so I'm just going to have to show them. I'm just going to have to show them like this. Now, I will tell you, if you look on the left there, that picture on the left, those lugs do look pretty narrow. They look like they're coming to quite a point. Especially with that leather strap picture on the left, where you're seeing the profile of those lugs. And yeah, I mean, those look like they're pretty narrow to me. I'll let other people chime in with their opinions on that, but that'd be my take on that. I'm a 2E in reality. The Oakwoods are dress fit like an Oxford. So they're 11Ds? Why did you get 11Ds if you're a 2E, Mr. Q? I'm just wondering. But hey, I'll be happy to restore those puppies and try to get some use out of them. They should fit me if they're 11Ds. They should fit me. Cheetown, what I mean is that we Rolex nerds think our tastes reflect what the average non-Rolex enthusiast is buying from AD. I say there's a disconnect. Oh, absolutely. Date 8 is my next watch most likely, says Jaden. I don't blame you. Triforce Rich, the problem with the Date 8 for me is that I work with clients that I espouse value to, which is true, but if they see the date, they get the wrong impression. I find that most people want to work with people that are successful. But anyway, people have noticed my Seiko Pepsi diver before positively. It's not the watch itself, it's the color, contrasting bezel. Okay. Date comes out after I've helped them make a ton of money and they're happy. Haha, but maybe not even then. Cheetown, Craig, what impression would you have if you say Dr. Fauci, wearing a gold date? You mean C? Well, I mean, in Dr. Fauci's defense, he has said repeatedly that he doesn't know what he's talking about, that all their projections are based on models that, would probably be wrong and so on and so forth. So he's said many times that he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's the media and the politicians that took what he said and then took action and ignored the fact that Fauci basically said he didn't know what he was talking about, right? They ignored that part and they took action as if what Fauci was saying was accurate and that, so it's really the politicians and the media that screwed everybody over, not Fauci, because he repeatedly said he didn't know what he was talking about. They just left that part out. So there you go. Let's see. Okay. Sent you a new email with bigger pictures. Okay. I've had tons of people notice the Pepsi as a Rolex was in a meeting. Lady asked, okay. Told her mine is vintage, not the one. Okay. I use Explorer. Okay. Great choice. Okay. All right. Let me go back to the email here, and we're going to do this, and then we're going to wrap this puppy up. We're going to wrap it up. Okay. I have to say that yes, those lugs are polished quite a bit. You can see the spring bar actually protruding from the lug, right? So they are substantially polished. I wouldn't polish them anymore. And I think on the watch on the left, they're polished a fair amount too. I think they're a little narrower than normal. So yeah, that's why I'm never a fan of having any of these watches polished ever. I would much rather just leave whatever dings or whatever that are on it and not polish it. I think polishing is a total fail. Okay, here's the other picture. Yeah, I think both of those are polished. The lugs are thinner than they would be from the factory. Now, are the watches still usable? Absolutely. I'd still wear them and use them. I'd never have them polished again. We're done with the polishing thing, right? So I'd still wear them and use them, but I would be done with the polishing thing. Okay. My Pepsi is fine, though. I don't mind wearing it at any meeting if people notice. They mostly just want to know how I got it, or sometimes I take it off and let them play with it. No big deal. Wearing a date and telling people how good a deal you got for it should convince people. They would question your logic if you bought a gray market priced Panda Daytona. Don't know if people think that deeply, Chi, but maybe us enthusiasts. For the most part, my suit and shoes make more of an impression than my watch. The watch is the final accessory, not the first. That's correct. If you're wearing nice clothes, nice shoes, that's why we've been talking about shoes some, and we'll talk about them some more next week. I tell you what, of all the things, I think people notice your shoes, believe it or not, more than anything else. If you're wearing decent shoes that are well kept, if they're dress shoes, if they're well polished, I think people notice that more than anything. I'll tell you, they do. They absolutely notice your shoes, because a lot of people don't pay attention to that detail. They're wearing a nice suit, they're wearing a nice shirt, they're wearing a nice tie, but they don't pay attention to the shoes. And so if somebody checks out your shoes and those are just right, and everything else is just right, you got the whole package. You got a nice watch too, that just adds to it, right? So I think all of those things are important. Absolutely, I think they're all important. Okay, I'd say the best under-the-radar Rolex is a black dial Explorer 2 and a black dial Oyster. Yeah, I would pass on the Explorer 2. I would just go with an Explorer. Triforce Rich, being well-spoken is more important than all of that anyhow. Well, you should have that as well. You should be well-spoken and be well-dressed and everything. Yes, you need all of that. Those were my first dress for work shoes 60 pounds ago, Craig. Okay. Carlos, I do not remember anybody talking me about watches and work environment. Nevertheless, both of us were wearing nice watches. Or Spectral 39, I mean, okay. Might get the 1601 laser welded and absolutely destroy its collectability. Haha, the Spectral date to the left is completely unserviced. Okay. Elliot and the house agree on all points. Carlos, in America, people are more open. In Europe, people look but don't comment as much. I know. I lived in Europe for a year, and it's a different world. Okay. And a few more souls pictured in the inbox. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at that before we wrap this puppy up. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. And let's zoom in a little bit on that one. Okay. All right. So they put some kind of, I think those are man-made soles on there. I think those are not leather, so that they'll last longer. That's the advantage to those. And of course, they've got all rubber cap on the heel. So these puppies are designed to take a beating. Those would be great to wear on a rainy day, right? My Edward Greens have they're rubber on the bottom, and that they also have some leather, but yeah, they're designed for foul weather, if you will. Jaden says, women's notice shoes first. They sure do. Absolutely, Jaden. That's a fact. I've worn suede, lipstick red wingtip sneakers and a dive watch, and guess which gained more unsolicited comments from strangers, mainly females. There you go. It's true that in the USA, random people in the street or bar ask me about my watch. If it's someone who I do not know and or care, I usually say that it is a fake. That's always a good move. Yeah, I got it for $75 down on whatchamacallit street, right? All right, we're going to wrap this puppy up. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Q, for the email, and I will send you an address if you want to send those over. I would be happy to try to get some use out of them. Absolutely, I'd be happy to try to get some use out of those puppies. Very, very interesting on the channel today. And hey, folks, subscribe to the channel. That's what you do. You subscribe to the channel. And while we're on this, let's suggest that you also check out the lovely Bree Fit Dance. Let's let her page load in here. Check out her website also. And subscribe to her social media, and maybe even send her some donations. Send her some donations. Thanks for watching, folks. Again, click on that bell